Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another smooth, sweet edition of Gray in the Dark. I'm your Noir Master, Philip, and here with me are a bunch of players, and there's 7 of us, which is kind of awkward in a Zoom window. Right now I've got us arrayed in a super wide angle, but maybe I should go to 3 and 3 and 1, which I think is also weird, but maybe is less, maybe is wasting less precious screen real estate than this is, because we really are just kind of floating in a black void here. We have 7 because we have Anthony back. Hello, Anthony.
Hello. It's good to be
Very
back.
good to have you back. And to have Scrakk back, or at least for now.
Totally nice.
I want to say thanks to everyone who watches this show. Some super fun stuff. I will say that last week's session threw me in an interesting way because I was not anticipating. I was happy to give
all the
up.
good rolls. All the good rolls.
There were at critical moments. I think there were 3 natural 20s.
Oh yeah.
To find a thing, to determine exactly what it is through a sort of high-level Arcana check. There was another nat 20 in there somewhere, but that's, or like to figure out a thing. I mean, Dominic took some punishment from it, and then Luminus rolling so high on the thing, and then couldn't get slapped. I mean, it was just, the point is, yes, as our sort of friends of Dom and the gang, friends of the family, perhaps we'll call
friends
them.
of Dorothy.
I don't know that they're friends of Dorothy. That's a different thing. Some might be, but that's a separate conversation. I will say that Duchess is equally popular among male populations, be they friends of Dorothy or not, if that makes sense. She's an icon to all.
I think it does. Yeah, that fits.
Our intrepid group here, they have gone on many sort of investigatory sort of avenues and even taken a trip out of town. A brief sojourn where they learned some important information, but they've basically come back to town trying to figure out who was trying to kill them and why when they shot up the alley several nights ago. One of the other victims of that shootout, or the targets of it, was Scrakk Brakkim, a ratfolk professor who sort of disappeared during their investigations. I will sort of do this. I kind of was talking to Anthony about this today. So we're going to say that the alley got shot up on a Sunday night. So on Monday, Scrakk left you all. Monday night, you guys went to the Sweet Feather Parlor. On Tuesday, you took a little trip to Million Oaks. On Wednesday, you took a little trip to the movie studio. And it is currently Thursday.
Wow, it's been a busy week, huh?
Has been a busy week. And yet, I would argue that many times in games, we maybe would have gotten through 2 days and 12 sessions. So you guys are actually moving at an okay clip.
So Wednesday was the studio and the factory?
The factory was this morning.
Okay.
Yeah. Studio was a whole day, and then...
Oh, yeah.
you
Just
went to
5
the
minutes
factory.
ago,
Yeah.
I now see through my hand.
Yes. So Scrakk had sort of left, so basically that's kind of the week so far. But here on Thursday, you guys discovered some things in the safe house where Sha'Nehl and Leo have been staying. Sha'Nehl also revealed that, or you guys think that some spirit medium ritual Sha'Nehl undertook may have had a more permanent transformative effect on her, which we will sort of get to later as she confirms it, but she certainly cannot seem to cast any magic at present. And she really wants to be holding a whip, and she's really possessive about finding things. But all of that kind of was sort of knocked aside when you guys found this lipstick in a case and putting his body on the line, perhaps not really thinking, not he could have gone to Roldol, could have gotten this thing dispelled, etc., but he said, we'll just do it now. Dominic punched through the glass at great physical cost to himself, procuring a tube of lipstick, which Leo was somehow able to figure out all of the details of, and despite it being fundamentally a prototype and one that will not work perfectly well all the time. And understanding that it was the lipstick of the Fatale, at which point Luminus put it on, and against even more improbable odds, it worked. Luminus knew from Leo's explanation he would need to make a tearful request to sort of use whatever charming abilities this lipstick might possess. He was unable to muster tears of his own, so instead, he suggested the party slap him. Leo and Sha'Nehl were unable to do so, but Dominic, with his not necrotized hand, and also not negative strength, but with the hand that I assume you didn't punch him with skeleton hand.
No.
Dominic slapped Luminus across the face, at which point everyone, including Dominic himself, tried to take Dominic down to protect Luminus. Luminus watched this all in kind of interested confusion. Dominic actually tried to go out the window, and I am so sorry. To that point, technically, Dominic, I need you. Can you please I did the math. I made a mistake on this because I may need to change some things about how that thing functions with the thing. I actually need you to make 2 more morality saving throws for me.
What? All right.
Oh no.
2 more morality. Well, that's probably both failures because that's my
I know it's
-1.
a big dumb
Dumb.
stat for you, but even
Don't
so.
do not break my window.
2 and a nat 20. So the last one was a 19.
Understood. So it wouldn't have affected things because you did get knocked out, but I will say, I kind of wanted to do, because I feel bad because this is information you guys should have, and the way it was going, I wasn't really expecting to have to make him roll on it, and then I guess rules is the way I've written it should. I may need to change that. Dominic, just so you're aware,
Okay.
when you were hit for the second time, we'll say the momentum was already carrying you sort of towards the window and you couldn't break it out, and then Duchess's last, animated bullet shot you in the back and dropped you. But when you were hit that second time by a ghost beam, you no longer felt compelled to protect Luminus.
Oh.
Whatever charm, perhaps in response to you taking damage, you were given the opportunity to get out of it again. That being said, you have no sensation that you had been charmed. You just no longer felt the impulse.
Well, that was the same hit that knocked me out or something like that. So
And then you were almost immediately
It's all
knocked out
mix.
after crashing into the window, and so.
Yeah.
But that is some information I did want the players to have about that feature.
Sure.
So, with all of that, as everyone then, of course, Luminus kind of helped Dominic up as the others rushed down to get him a glass of water to protect him from dehydration until they realized, wait, that's crazy. They all returned upstairs. Dominic has kind of an interesting idea of what they could do with a lot of this money, though he's taken a good bit of it for himself. I've also, by the way, I think I am retconning this. I'm not sure if I said this.
Sure.
In terms of, because we were talking about the, that amount of
stacks?
money is.
Was there an
is so
absurd
much.
amount?
Yes. Basically the 100,000 simoleons you found, we are keeping that. There are 100,000 simoleons, and they are in 100 bill, stacks, like a stack would be. There are 2 bags.
Okay.
So you pulled 2 bags out. 2 sort of large, nice leather sort
So
of cases.
each stack is 1,000 simoleons?
Each stack is
1,000.
Each stack
It's
is
10,000.
100.
100,000. Yeah.
No,
No.
each stack.
10,000.
Each stack is 100 simoleons. Each
Okay.
stack is a 1 simoleon bill.
Okay. We're keeping that, okay.
And you have 1,000 stacks split between the 2 bags.
Okay.
Fun.
And we each took a stack except for Dominic, who...
I'm doing this because I was
Nice.
looking stuff up, and since you can carry $10 million in 2 bags in cash, you can carry $100,000 in
Small
singles
bills or
in 2
big
bags.
bills?
Yeah.
That makes a
They're all
difference.
that's the inflexible part. It is a 1 simoleon bill. So each one of these is
There are
basically worth
stacks
1
of
gold.
ones.
So there you have 1,000 stacks, each of which is worth 100 simoleons. So that means that Sha'Nehl, Leo, Duchess, Luminus, and Dominic have all have 100 sort of gold or simoleons on them right now.
Okay.
Because Dominic did say we can all
Yes.
pocket 1, and then Dominic took another like 4 or something.
As you do.
Speaking of all this money, how much did my train ride cost me?
About 100,000 simoleons.
Your
Yeah.
your one back when don't worry about that. You would have been helped.
Plot paid for.
Scrakk walks in, and we're all in like Gucci and Louis Vuitton stuff. It's like, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you're back here, huh?
Got gold chains.
And he's in rags, having to pay the bus fare to get over here.
I have my own ice cream man following me around.
So, Duchess, I think your sheet is now up to date for the other stuff that for some reason we hadn't updated already. Cool. So, with all of that in mind, it is now sort of into the afternoon. You're all sort of standing there. You've divvied up some money. You found this stuff. You're still in the safe house. What are you all going to do?
All right. One thing I need to establish is what's the state of my hand? Is it all bony? Is there flesh
So,
or something like that?
Leo
Or-
cast magic on it, so we're going to sort of, and he did it actually before you'd even fully regenerated. So we're going to say that like your hand is in bad shape, but listen, Dominic,
Healable?
you understand the risk of it, but if you get
Yeah.
a little potion on it.
Oh, that's right. I have no spell slots right now.
Yeah, and Leo's tapped.
All right.
But like
So-
if you got potions at home, you don't like to
yeah,
you don't
of
like to
course.
get high on your own supply, but like this is what it's for.
This is an
like-
emergency.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I'm just gonna find some first aid bandages and just wrap it all up, mummy style.
Okay.
How good am I at bandaging this?
Make a medicine roll.
Come on, let's make it real funny. That's a nat 20. I bandaged it up really
You've
well.
rolled 2 nat 20s today. That's wild.
Yeah, damn.
It's
When
a
we
good
get to
day.
combat,
Yeah, when it really matters.
So basically, yes, you've wrapped your hand up. You feel like you're in okay position for now.
How many
gonna-
HP? Oh, never mind. He regenerates.
up to half, so I'm at half
Yeah.
HP.
He always regenerates to half his max, so he's
12.
he's at that, but he's hurting. So what's the play, gang?
Early
So do we need to
activity,
get you medical
right?
attention immediately, or are we gonna take care of the money, or what's next, boss?
Okay. What did we go to the... This day has been a blur, so we went to... That's right.
Went to the factory.
Went to the factory. We went to the safe
right?
house. This day felt like 3 weeks already, man. Ugh.
Well, Danelle thinks that she could maybe try to contact one more of her old comrades for some
Who do you have in
information.
mind? What did you have in mind?
Nelson, do you know him?
No idea who that is. What did they do? How do you know them?
He used to be my handler. He wasn't very good, but
Apparently not, because we all died. So
Wow.
I didn't.
He went there.
I did not.
Ah. What information do you think he can get you?
Yeah, good question.
Are you certain they're not too close to all of this? I know we were a bit hesitant about telling any more to the general or anybody in the military at this point.
I mean, the thing we're trying to find out now is who's trying to go after the boss.
Right.
Well, I'm also just. You mentioned.
So, yes,
What's that you mentioned?
The- the launderers.
There's been a lot of things mentioned. I'm gonna be specific.
That's what I'm saying. Just today is a blur?
Didn't we want to go to the laundry machine?
You mentioned Idgal Urban.
What?
Yes, the explorer who worked
Yes.
with us on Skip Leech.
Actually not. Hold on. No. I'm thinking about
Carl Urban?
You were wondering if that was the
Complimenter.
explorer who potentially was inhabiting Sha'Nehl.
Yes, because
no,
he is very
actually, I was going to ask Nelson about Complimenter, the painter.
Painter.
Oh.
What?
Who
What?
maybe
What?
no,
Who are we
Painting?
talking about now?
Painting for what? What are we talking about?
he was a tiefling and
Okay.
a very talented board painter, an expert in color theory, and
I don't know why.
he mysteriously disappeared during the war, towards the end of the war.
I mean,
And
if I was suddenly out of
A
a job like
painter.
that, I'd probably disappear as well.
We're gonna search for
I-
a painter.
it is a loose thread.
Very
I
loose.
wouldn't mind. Yes, I would, but there's so many possibilities there. He
Alright.
might.
Sure.
Did he really die? If somebody just disappears and
Sure.
is presumed dead, I am not sure that they are really dead.
I mean, the
Was-
more
I
people
wish
from
I could-
Skip Leech we can account for, the more
He
we'll
was a
understand
bard,
what
a
happened.
very charming person,
He was actually on
and
Skip
his,
Leech.
his connection to the color theory makes me wonder maybe he knew something. He was somehow involved in Skip Bleach, or
I'm not
Was
sure.
he?
I'm
Was he
actually
involved
aware.
in Skip Leech, or is he just a painter?
with.
I'm not sure how he was
So,
involved. But I know he
just
was
to
involved.
just to sort of clarify for the ones who would know, one of the architects of Project Skip Bleach was a very powerful bard named Complimentaire, who
Okay.
was an expert on color theory and was explaining what one would do to dampen color. He was
I mean-
he was he was an integral part of the plan. And well, okay, tell you
Okay.
what, Sha'Nehl and Leo, why don't you both roll history checks for me?
Let's try to explain this to me, who didn't study up on Skip Leech at all, because
Ah, go on.
Should
I
I,
mean, I
since
never
I
heard
have
of him,
studied up on Skip
16.
Bleach?
Go ahead. 16, sure.
Yep.
Wait, you said history?
Three.
3, yeah.
Ooh, your girl has made some mistakes.
she slept through this class.
7 plus 0.
That's yeah.
Fury.
You've said all of you know about Clurian Complimentaire. Other than that, yeah, he went missing
Sure.
late in the war, and they figured that he was disappeared by the Goman, like the Goman secret police. They figure he was killed as part of the war.
Sure.
So that's a thing. Sha'Nehl, you also were talking about Igdal Urban, who is a dragonborn or was a dragonborn explorer who died after the war in a car crash. Leo and Sha'Nehl, I think I've already mentioned that last time.
Yes.
And that person is definitely, that was not a fake. That person is definitely is dead. Body discovered.
Yeah.
Body shown on screen.
But
Yeah, body
So,
showed on
super
screen.
you know,
Yeah.
was it really an accident,
Who-
or
who
was it
said
an
that?
accident?
Igdal
Some
Jurgen,
random,
the
some random
explorer.
explorer that's not relevant to
Oh,
Skip
okay.
Leech at all.
No, a random explorer who was also a big part of Skip Leech who adventured to the
God
far
damn it.
realms. Sha'Nehl is basically going down the list of people who were involved in Skip Leech and telling you, but some died. And
Well, we know-
Because
I mean,
there
it
is
makes
no character who's not important.
The more we know about the people who were on Skip Leech, their whereabouts, what happened to them, the less loose ends we have in figuring out what's
Sure.
going on and how it's connected to what's going on with Dominic. I don't know why they want to kill you, but for some reason it seems to have something to do with this.
I'm just a
I-
simple mobster. Making
I feel
my
like
way
the more
through
we
the
know,
world.
the more we'll be targeted.
There,
We
this
are already
all
being
must
targeted.
be somehow
No, he is being
connected.
targeted.
Because
Alright.
why
For him.
would
I'm cool.
somebody
Not being
want to kill a stupid orc, right? So it's all connected somewhere. A very smart orc. I'm sorry.
Pretty sure nobody cares about me.
Luminus, if they're targeting your boss, you're then also target, no?
Alright, fine. That seems like a
It
fine.
is an
I
idea.
feel like that's a theological
Sure.
question that would
I
take
was-
a great debate.
That's definitely not anything to do with theology, but that's
Yeah,
fine.
sure. Well, my idea today was to go find the launderers, but I'm
Oh,
not
yeah,
in shape
laundry
to,
machine.
I'm not in the proper shape to go deal with an associate of a
The
criminal
only
mastermind.
thing
So
is, we cannot. I do not think Nelson will talk to me if all of us show up.
right. So
Perhaps
So-
you should
But
take care of
we
it
can-
Another
on-
solo.
We don't. Also, we should translate this letter that I copied.
I'll also just
This
mention
message.
that this is a game where phones do exist.
This is
I-
true.
Just as a person, I don't trust you. Just like some really secret stuff, and you just call them up.
this
But we can do
newfangled
it for
telephone
ease-
tech.
ease
But
of-
you're not
ease
a
of use.
person. You're a mannequin.
Okay,
Well,
but
that was
you are not a
racist.
person either. You are a chinchilla.
This
Do
is
you know
true.
that?
You don't know that.
That just didn't say that.
You don't know that. I
don't
haven't
think
said
we know
anything.
that yet. So in any case, yeah, I guess my question is simply, where are you all going to go right now?
Do we know anybody who speaks
So-
Brickborn?
No, it wasn't Brickborn. It was
Terran.
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 Terran. Yeah. No.
I mean, we could easily just put
Just
an ad
find
out
a-
in the paper.
Just find a brick
Need
one.
a-
Terran's
oh,
not a brick.
Terran.
But somebody
tutor.
you trust, somebody you can trust.
You just got there saying you don't even trust phones.
Does-
Who the hell are we gonna trust to translate this letter?
Leo, what is your modifier for Arcana?
It's a
It's
plus 3. I believe.
five.
Oh, then Sha'Nehl, even though you're not a spirit medium anymore, if somebody were to just channel, I mean, you can't, and Leo's tapped out, but like tomorrow, Leo could just get comprehend languages.
It's true.
Oh,
And,
that is true.
Also, Leo, you guys, you do have a situation where you can once per day get the ghost to teach you any ritual that is on your list. I don't know if comprehend
Yes.
languages is on your list. I think it might be, but
I'm
if that's
not sure.
if that's the case, that is actually a way you could just do that directly. Comprehend languages is on the spirit medium spell list, so theoretically you could
wonderful.
use that.
I do have a channel left, so.
I don't even think you have to. I don't even think you have to do it for channeling.
Well, I have to summon a spirit to do it, right?
No, if you,
No.
this isn't a separate thing. If you look at the spell casting, like the very first or the very second feature you get, like your spell casting under ritual spell casting, basically spirit mediums get a special thing. Ooh, cool features from the stuff. Ooh, long lost Noir. Can't back on Kickstarter because it's over, but we'll sell it eventually, I guess. Basically, so you can, if you've prepared a spell, you can ritually cast it if it has the ritual
Like
tag.
a one time.
But you can also ask the spirits once per sort of short or long rest for 10 minutes of meditation per level of the spell, and then you can learn it as long as it's actually on your list. So they can teach
I
it to
will
you
do that.
temporarily even if you didn't prepare it.
Actually, I think Leo knew this spell at some point. Maybe we can take 10 minutes and he will dredge the memories of his spirit and he will find that spell again and we can cast it as a ritual.
Oh, now he remembers.
Whatever, I'll just switch over to him.
We also could take a
Yes,
short
I
rest.
believe I did know this spell at some point. I will
Or
meditate on it.
or maybe you guys want to go back to the alley to do. That's kind of what I was asking earlier. I got excited about.
I'm
features,
sorry,
but-
are we not in the alley now?
No, you're in the
No,
same
we're
house.
still
Yes,
at the
so
safe
same
house.
house.
We're still-
Jesus, yes, I would like to go back to the alley where the liquor is. Yes,
And Dominic
please,
maybe wants to go for his thing, and you can go there.
Yeah,
to,
I need
okay.
to get fixed up. So
Great. I wonder why he's saying that. All right, so
I can't imagine.
as you leave the safe house down in Cook Park, you take the trolley back up. Are you leaving the money?
Wait, can we buy a car? How much was a car? We established this.
You guys could probably just you could you certainly with the money in the bags could buy a car. Yeah, absolutely.
But don't you have to change the money into current money first?
Don't have to do
Sorry, that is
shit.
the thing. So Duchess, yes, the money is all pre-war, so people don't always accept it because they think it might be counterfeit. It's all.
That's why we were talking about laundering it.
You guys are probably going to try to launder the money and use that as an excuse to talk to those money launderers but because the money is, since it's all pre-war, it's differentiated in colored inks, and so now everybody thinks it's all
Of course it is.
counterfeit.
Yeah, got it.
She's mad at me,
But-
I can tell.
Yeah, we're not just gonna get a cool
But-
100,000.
Forgotten how mad she's been, and she just
Sha'Nehl,
remembered.
Sha'Nehl is very broke and would like to exchange her money so she can buy some stuff.
Right.
True.
Understood. But for now, you guys are going to the alley, right?
Yes.
Thanks.
You really want us to go there, sure.
Why do you think I want that?
Well,
he
Duchess
don't-
wants it, so it's fine.
Yeah, he just
The rest
like-
of it-
It was already in the alley.
Is there anything
I'm-
else in this apartment we haven't found?
Well, my
yet?
question is, are you taking the money with you? Are you taking the money with you, or are you leaving it here? That's my
So
question.
yes, I believe
Taking
we
it,
can probably should-
taking it.
Hell yeah, we're
taking
taking
It
it.
doesn't
back.
matter because we can't even fucking use it.
Yeah,
You
Right.
can use it. It's just
Let's
Can't.
look to the future.
Yeah.
Using it with extra steps isn't using it.
That is literally using it with extra
Yeah.
steps.
No.
That sounds
No.
inappropriate somehow, but I'm not sure how.
all right. So, as
Has
you
to do with
guys,
the ink bath.
so who's carrying the
Dominic.
bags?
I'm carrying one bag.
I'll probably carry the other one.
Dominic and
My
Luminus carry
arms.
bags.
I like noodles.
Yeah. I know. Because you couldn't slap Luminus. Worth a
It's
damn.
true.
By the
You
way,
guys step outside.
retroactively, did I notice Dominic stealing my money?
You were inside the.
You
No,
were in
you
the
were.
room
You,
when he
yeah,
did it.
you were in the
You were
hallway.
literally in the hallway when he did it.
That's why he was like,
He
okay.
was doing it while he specifically was doing it while you were gone, which was very funny. So my money, also she calls it. That's what's fun about a noir game. They're all monsters.
I don't know what you're talking about.
As you step out of the safe house, Dominic and Luminus carrying around 50 grand each in large bags. You go down the steps.
I have it over like
Yeah,
around the shoulders, so.
crossbody.
It's not
I
ju-
understand.
Yeah. I'm not just
And
carrying
you're
it.
also, I assume, and you also have the lipstick, and I know you guys kind of gathered
Yes,
up all of the
I
other
have the
books and
lipstick.
things from in there, either put them in the thing. You know, there were like tarot cards in there, all sorts of sort of notable things. So you're now in Cook Park, and I did send you guys the map of the world and everything,
Right.
or the map of the city. So what is your what's your play here? How are you getting the many, many blocks? How are you getting all the way back up to Little Trachaloy?
Taxi.
Taxi?
What does Waze recommend?
I mean, a taxi is going to be way faster than the trolley, and you do have large bags. And it would not be hard for you to get a taxi in Cook Park. You'd certainly be able to do so.
Yeah.
Can I get the city map as well, please?
Oh my god, yes.
Oh, you
I
were
wouldn't
part
feel
of it.
Oh,
comfortable taking
yes,
these
I'm
bags
very
on
sorry,
public
absolutely.
transit.
These are super rough, so I haven't even I'll clean these up. These are
He,
not
he,
like,
he doesn't have like the actual like traffic
and I also
coordination.
I specifically also want to mention like I don't consider these like to scale or perfectly accurate as well. That's why I haven't even posted them online
That's such
or
a Doc
anything.
Brown saying.
But basically, so yeah, you guys take the thing. So if you're gonna grab a taxi will not be that expensive. For well, you might need two. Actually, with bags, you'll need two cabs.
Duchess
But they
is on
don't
the
have
one
truck
that Leo
trunks?
isn't.
Duchess definitely gets into the cab without Leo. Understood. So in that case, just someone deduct. I'll say two cabs would be like 6 silver, but somebody deduct that from not all this new money you have.
Dominic.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
Cool.
I'll say, yeah, don't worry, this is on me.
Okay.
Cool, because I don't even have 6 silver to my name.
All right, so you guys take your cabs back up to the alley. What is everyone's passive perception again, by the way?
15.
16.
Not good.
15, 16,
Oh, it's
16.
13!
17.
17 for old Luminus. All right.
Yeah.
Great. Perfect. So, you guys pull up outside the alley. The facade is, has been fixed by the gremlins. It looks beautiful. Dominic, you pay the cabbies, and as you walk in, you see a familiar rat folk sitting at a table, looking squirrely. Cynthia kind of makes eye contact with you, and kind of just gives you, one of those.
Is he reading a book?
Scrakk, I assume, is reading a book, right? If he's waiting.
Yes, that's
Hi.
correct.
Scrakk, you escaped.
Scrakk, you're not dead. What a wondrous day.
How did you escape? Were you
Where did
tortured?
you go?
Oh, hi guys. No, I wasn't tortured.
Oh, good.
Where were you? You just kind of disappeared on us. It was pretty awkward.
I know. I'm
All right.
sorry about that.
Back room. You too, Rat. Back room.
That's probably a good idea.
Kind of. Cynthia hands Duchess a martini.
Just walks in and
just
immediately
like-
hands martini.
Thank you.
Don't even need to order it. Wow.
Because Cynthia is good at her job.
I suppose. You do come here alive, don't you?
I
Unlike
work
what's her
here,
face.
first of all. Don't
Well,
make
now
it
you
sound
do.
bad. I work
Now
here.
you-
As of
now you
3
do.
days ago.
It's like
Yeah,
3 days
days
ago, you
I
son
was
of
only
a
here once a
bitch.
week, okay? So it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you gather everyone in the back room. Oh, I have to roll for Joan Gianna. She's not here.
Okay. good.
But so
Alright.
you go back in the back room, and you do see, there are certainly healing potions around Dominic.
Yeah. Pop out the best supply and just drink it.
You're gonna go to you're gonna go to like the top shelf one, and that's probably for the best. In that
I
case,
see my bones.
You can see your bones. In that case,
What happened to your hand?
Don't
We have
worry
questions
about
for you in a bit, but don't worry about it.
Dominic, so you take that, you drink it because you were going to the toppest shelf one. This is you're getting like the 18-year stuff, so there is no chance of a mishap with this. And go ahead and roll for a potion of superior healing.
Was that 2d8?
I think it's 4d4 is superior.
44
look
hit
it up.
points. Wow.
Yeah, 4d4 plus 4.
That's 48 then?
I
No.
think 44 is greater.
4 die 4. How about
I know. I'm Josh. Yeah.
superior, sorry, is 8d4 plus 8.
God damn. So far it is 4, 8, 11 plus. I'm full. I'm not gonna roll anymore. I'm already full.
Okay.
Okay. Man, that messed me up good.
Yeah, and you do see your
The drink
hands
messed you up?
kind of beginning to bubble
Nah.
back over.
You see my wounds closing. I no longer see my bones. That's good. All right. Rat. Was it Scrakk? It's been 3 days since you bailed on us.
He was kidnapped, right, Scrakk?
No,
So you
I
did bail
wasn't
on
kidnapped.
us.
You're a terrible
Oh,
investigator.
Are you
Who'd you
sure?
tell? Who'd you tell? Who'd you
What?
tell
What
about
would he
all
tell?
this?
I didn't tell anyone anything that you don't already know.
What do
Do you remember when we were at that? What was the name? What was the name of the lady's apartment? The one that we went
Taccia
to?
Brunotti.
Brunotti.
And that's someone
Yes,
you
that's
knew.
where you disappeared.
I found something at Miss Brunotti's apartment.
Oh,
What'd you find?
Some papers that probably shouldn't have been there. They had some information that
Out with it. Get to the point.
it's dangerous to know. I didn't know how
Oh,
to.
you'd already been shot
I didn't
at, so-
realize we were safe beforehand.
And you didn't share this with us?
A bunch of elves shot Tommy guns at my bar.
To be
Okay.
fair, he
It
had
was a
met
little
us 20 minutes
little-
beforehand.
too close to home. I didn't know how to process it and had to take some time to think.
Oh. You just took some time to think.
You don't understand.
I'm going to. Can I pull Scrakk aside with
All right.
Sha'Nehl, real quick?
All right, so
Oh,
the
you
mannequins
three are
are
gonna talk by yourselves?
the mannequins are trying to pull aside the rat.
You three want to
Yes.
talk amongst yourselves.
All right.
We're the ones
Yes.
involved with the project, yes.
And
All right,
so what?
I'll pull aside my employees. All right.
Ambrosia kind of wanders over if you're talking to your employees.
She came into the back room too.
Oh,
All
did you
right,
not want
sure.
to? I was trying to be
fine.
proactive.
I appreciate the effort. Okay, you
Okay.
can stay.
I was about to say, you should definitely embrace that.
Yeah, sure. I just didn't expect it. I didn't say it's a bad thing. I just didn't expect it. Okay.
Boss said
All
the
right.
slide. I was already in here.
I want.
She would have been here the whole time.
I'm sorry.
She was just there in the corner.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm
Ambrosia.
sorry.
Anyone had cooked rat before?
Let me roll and see if I have.
Need for that.
Actually, no, I have. Yes, I actually have.
I'm pretty sure there's
verify
two
it.
separate conversations. Dominic, did you really pull
Oh,
them
yeah, sure.
aside?
Yeah, I pulled them aside.
Yeah. So no,
All
you don't hear this, Scrakk. You're over with the mannequins are talking to you over
Okay.
there.
Yeah, I have. It's not very good.
So I'm with
meanwhile,
Sha'Nehl
Scrakk.
and Leo.
Yeah, you're over Sha'Nehl.
Scrakk, I want you to know that they're now aware of our involvement in the project.
Well, I suppose that makes things easier, but
You can tell us what you found. Anything you tell us can't be any worse than what we know already.
the papers
Idiotic.
indicated that what happened in Project Skip Leech, it may not have been an accident.
Yes,
We had suspected as much.
we've been suspecting that.
I went over.
What did they say in the papers that made you think this?
What did you find out?
Just a second. the details were sparse, but it was an indication that all the it seemed to indicate that the color drain was not necessary to stop the invasion, that it was set off intentionally.
Who would have wanted to do this?
I don't know, but I went to what is it called? Just a second. I went to the stronghold to find out, and well, I got caught, you see, but I was able to determine that the captain of the sorry, I'm going over a lot of information right at once. The captain of the ship that set it off was changed at the last minute.
Oh,
Whoever was supposed to be flying the ship for Skip Leech was not the person who actually did. Well, you know
Wait,
what
who was
happened from
supposed to be doing it?
there.
Was it Halia?
Alia
It was second.
I can
lots of
tell you.
info.
You don't have
Yes,
to keep
go ahead,
going
Philip.
through it
Go
here.
ahead.
Yes, basically, if you're sort of going to share what you learned,
I will share what I learned with these two for sure.
is that so if you're going to quietly share it with just them, yes, you will basically mention that the captain of the JS Nightingale, which was the destroyer that Halia was on with the components for Project Skip Leech, which she
Was
then
it an
set off.
airship?
No, it's a
Airship.
sailing ship, like a destroyer.
Sailing ship.
And when she sort of set it off down in Sunwiggle when they were trying to sort of do what they were doing, there was a shadow elf named Elora Lockley, Captain Elora Lockley, Lochley.
Write it down somewhere.
Oh, sure. Captain, I'll put it into a couple of chats here. Captain Lockley, it was sort of scrubbed from all official reports, but she was reassigned at the last minute from that vessel, just before it set out, kind of on its, or just before sort of the final days, you know.
She's the one who wasn't there.
She wasn't there. Well, everyone on board died in Project Skip Leech. It killed everyone on the ship. So she was in control of that ship and all that stuff, and at the last minute she left, is kind of the implication.
She was still at the stronghold, but I wasn't able to talk to her directly.
What stronghold?
I guess I will say to Sha'Nehl. And the stronghold, sorry, that's like the equivalent of the Pentagon. The stronghold is the main military thing down in the capital. I want Sha'Nehl to roll a flat investigation. Or actually, flat intelligence.
Flat intelligence.
Flat int.
Oh, it's a 12.
12. Something about Shadow Elves seems... You all feel like there was something about Shadow Elves, but you're not really sure what the deal with it is.
Oh, she was a Shadow Elf?
She was a Shadow Elf, though.
Elora was, yeah.
Yeah, Shadow Elves.
They're not
Leo,
part of the...
does this ring anything to you, Shadow Elves?
Does it?
Sha'Nehl, I honestly, I was having you roll to remember this, but you specifically did talk to Tashia about this. Tashia asked you if Halia had a connection to the Shadow Elves because she said they're the only people she could think of who would have benefited from the color drain.
Right.
Oh. See, that was my big question. Who benefits from the color drain?
Don't make Duchess
I
decide now. Come on.
I don't know on that.
It was gonna happen. You knew it from the beginning.
No.
You knew it. I knew it. We're just building up to it.
Don't make Duchess what?
Commit genocide.
Oh, I see. It's not all the Shadow Elves.
We started this game with torture, and we'll end it with genocide.
Meanwhile, as this conversation is quietly being whispered, Ambrosia, Luminus, Duchess, and Dominic are over on the other side.
All right. So here's the dealio. We've got... How much was it? 200,000?
100,000.
100,000. 100,000 pre-war bills.
Well, technically less, but
Whoa.
that's beside the point.
Rounded up.
Oh, wow.
Don't ask how we got it.
Okay.
Now we do. So, we need it to be cleaned, obviously, because they're pre-war stuff and no one's going to take them. Well, not enough people are going to take them. I know a money laundering place. Launderers. Well, I wouldn't... let's retcon that. I know some cleaners. I'm never going to say out loud money laundering. I know some cleaners. I know of some cleaners. Never met them before. I want them to be checked out, Ambrosia. And I'll give them the names of the cleaners because I do not remember them personally, but Dominic remembers them.
Just to clarify, you are talking about the cleaners who work for... Or you're talking about the cleaners who were mentioned by...
the Iron, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So you're talking about... so she mentioned two. She said Willie the Washer was
Willie the
good,
Washer.
and Dryer Dreyfus was not.
I don't know what
she told
she's
you
like
of
good.
two. She said she basically recommended Duchess use Willie the Washer. Don't go to Dryer Dreyfus.
Alright. So yeah. So I'll tell Ambrosia, look into them for the next day or so. Come back to me tomorrow with what you know. It's still like half day, right?
It's mid-afternoon by this point, but she can go investigate them this afternoon.
Yeah.
Willie?
Ambrosia.
Huh?
What are you gonna? How are you gonna look into them?
Oh,
I'm just curious.
I mean, I've been given a direct order soon. I'll case the place, put in some quiet questions, do all the normal stuff because someone asked me to. So yeah, you get the sense that Ambrosia's totally competent when given a direct order.
Got it. No. I'm just making sure that it wasn't a la Millhouse. I did watch the Millhouse. I watched it fall to the ground, and there it. Yeah, I just not making sure. I did look into them. They are indeed a washer and dryer. Congrats. Yeah,
She will go and find out the deal. So you want her to go find out about Willie and Dryer Dreyfus. She's on it.
Correct. All right.
You're thinking about eating rat boss? Because I wouldn't. It's not very good. It's literally pretty low on the list.
I mean, back in Little Trachaloy, we had to get by. Not Little Trachaloy. Back in the motherland.
Big Trachaloy.
Big Trachaloy. The old country. During the war, it was pretty messed up. We had to get by with what we had. I don't think we had. I had Rat there, but.
I just imagine Little Trachaloy is like a dollhouse village now.
Here's a little Chancellor playset.
I would like to just inform Scrakk that we've figured out that for some reason the shooting was targeted at Dominic, but it's connected to Skipwich somehow. Because of that, we should probably let the rest of the people know that what he told us.
I don't see how it can hurt at this point. We clearly can't trust command. Anyways.
With the information we have, it still seems like Duchess and Luminus were just wrong place, wrong time, right?
As far
Sure,
as
looks like it.
Yep,
Yeah.
you and Luminus see wrong place, wrong time.
Okay. For now, I assume.
Well,
but-
now you're hired, so.
Well, I just mean at the time of the shooting.
Yeah.
I just did know what to do with the information. I had to verify it first.
What made you come back to us?
You and Sha'Nehl are the only two people I think of that would have a motive to find out more. If they lied to us about the activation, they may be lying about other things. Maybe it can be undone after all.
We'll see. All right, I'll take Scrakk back to the main group.
If anyone has a responsibility, it's me.
Were the Shadow Elves
It's us.
on our side or the other side of the war?
Your side.
Okay.
We had a hand in it.
All right, so they start approaching us again.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, what did you all go over?
I'll just relay all the same things
All right, cool.
that we talked about, so we don't have to go through
Thank
all of that again.
That was me in character asking, not.
Bless
Well,
you,
obviously.
sir. Bless you.
All right, there we go.
And I'll
So,
also include
alright.
the supposition that maybe there are things about the project that we can lie to you about, like whether or not it's reversible.
Oh, okay, cool. Still has nothing to do with me yet, so whatever.
Not yet, but the
I-
more we know, the closer we are to conclusion on this.
I feel like
mystery.
exactly like you, boss.
I wouldn't get your hopes up, but
All right. So,
still.
Speaking of, I need to do my ritual.
are you just gonna go into the corner doing some ritual stuff then?
Sha'Nehl, what?
See, the thing about comprehending languages is, and he goes in a 10-minute long like explanation of like
All
how
right.
the spell
The
works.
second-
as he
the
remembers
I
it.
second he
suppose
starts-
that's correct on the surface level, but
Oh my god.
All right. So the second he starts going on, they start discussing. I'll say, okay, stop it, Scrakk. Here's what you should know, and I go over the various mob side of things that happen, so he is up to speed in character that knows what the hell's going on and why we are gonna go to a cleaner.
Well, in that case, you'll actually need to do that because he doesn't know.
I have no idea what happened.
Exactly. Oh god damn it! You
Yo, he actually has no
God damn
idea.
it.
The player doesn't know, so tell the player.
Quick
anyway.
question.
Player just will have to read the
Is there
recap.
I
technology?
can, but
Is there technology in this time? Like, is there a tape recorder that I can just go out and buy that also has a play fast option?
No.
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 Okay.
Can
Thought I
she
asked.
make one with her tune abilities?
Alright.
Basically, you want to watch YouTube videos at 1.5 times the speed.
You could play like a record
us.
or something, that
Okay.
would comedically shout it.
Okay then. In character, I'm gonna go over. Alright. Bunch of mobsters put a hit on me. A lot of them were affiliated with Skip Bleach tangentially. We're after some mob boss that's also a tune. And we're gonna go get some cleaners because we just went into a bunch of money.
Also,
That'll
there's
be our
someone
hit.
called Il Grazioso.
You're talking
Yeah,
about your
the,
thing.
The
does
charmer.
anything he just said draw a connection for Scrakk to what he knows?
Probably not.
Absolutely zero.
Roll an investigation roll, and only
Okay.
tell me if you roll a natural 20.
Oh, by the way, do
Okay.
you speak Terran?
No,
Oh, okay.
it doesn't have many academic.
I didn't ask for your
uses.
life story. It was a yes or no question.
Well,
Yeah, you don't
kind
speak
of
Elvish,
Elvish,
between
right?
his legs.
because you can't say yes and
It's
no.
not a natural 20 now.
Then it does. Then you don't get any little insight now.
Okay.
Start using those blue points, don't they?
Can I tell? It sounded to me, the player, like something was up with Sha'Nehl. Can Scrakk tell that?
I don't think Scrakk has good emotional intelligence, so I will say that.
Okay. It sounded like it was magic related, so I didn't know if you could tell that.
It is magical in nature, but all you've seen is the mannequin not cast a spell since you've been
okay,
here,
cool.
So it is
yeah,
not
never mind then. He's not that observant.
So, Leo, as you
do your thing, Leo.
I've still been talking about like comprehend languages in the background, and everyone's been ignoring
the
me,
rest
but,
of you do notice that like this. There's like this various ghostly forms, sort of like moving around Leo, seeming to like provide him with the sort of with a quick fix of even though he didn't prepare this ritual, kind of like helping him sort of prepare it now. As this goes on, Luminus. You catch a face amongst the ghosts, one that is kind of familiar. It's a face you saw about 3 days ago, briefly superimposed over Leo on one of his previous channelings. Very attractive, feminine, but of an indeterminate nature. But this face this ghostly form kind of seems to catch notice of you as it's swept up amidst the other spirits.
It looks at me?
You have this kind of little tingle on your tail scales, as it were. Yes, on your dorsal scales, as
tingle.
As you kind of feel something walking over your grave, and you see this ghostly face amidst his. Most of them seem focused on him, but one of them, that familiar one, for a brief moment, you see it looking at you. You can make a perception check to try and sight it again.
Yes, please. Ooh. That is a 25.
25.
Yes.
Awesome.
Wow.
This is good because this is kind of almost like a thing. So basically, you look there and you maybe even take half a step up as kind of this weird ghostly display forms around Leo. But then you feel before seeing, and certainly not hearing. There is someone right behind you watching you. But there couldn't be anyone there. And as eerie as these spirit mediums are, there's something very different about a wild ghost. One that seems to just be around. Luminus, you can tell.
I was promised this wasn't a horror game.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes. But then it's Luminus, you basically you feel a presence right behind you.
If I look?
If you look back, you sort of see that ghost just kind of looking at you with curiosity.
Is it behind me?
Yeah.
The same ghost I just saw.
The same ghost that was part of his is now apparated behind you and is just paying some attention to you.
Can we see it? Because we're all in the same room, right?
You can, but he hasn't yelped, and none of you have looked.
Okay.
Yeah. You're all kind
Strahd
of
walks
chatting
in through
about
the
whatever.
door.
But it's just she's just staring at you.
I reach out to try to touch it.
She reaches out back, and her hand passes through yours. And in this soft, I'm sorry, KJ, I'm so sorry. And in a voice that doesn't sound creepy at all, simply says, "No, I suppose you're not. I thought you were for a moment." She gets really close to you, Luminus. This ghostly face, and then just kind of staring at your lips.
Oh shit!
Disappears.
Wait, do dragonkin have lips?
You put
They got-
lipstick on.
Does that normally happen?
Does what normally happen?
Huh?
Your
What?
ghost thing, majig.
Well, yes, there's always ghosts around me when I do these spells.
Yeah, but does one usually
knowledge
show
out
up
of
behind
the
other
answer.
people?
Why don't you
What
ask
are you
Leona
talking
later?
about?
What are you talking about? Did I see that?
No, you're doing a.
You're too busy ritualing. So
You're doing a.
I think you might be seeing things.
No, I literally just saw that lady you transformed into like
What
a few
lady?
days ago.
What-
The one you
what-
transformed into.
What species was the
Investigator.
lady?
Yeah, that pretty one.
What race was it? Species.
What race was it? It was an elf, right?
Elf?
Why am I remembering Goblin?
She looks kind of like a goblin.
Goblin.
Goblin?
She looked
Attractive
kinda-
goblin?
Goblin-y?
Kind of looked like an elf, or kind of looked like a goblin, or
It's weird. It was a ghost. Like,
maybe
it was just
a
kind of
human.
like,
She looked like a lot of things.
but like she just showed up behind me, and
Would
then
I
said
know
no.
What would cause that?
If you're willing to stop your ritual, you can
No.
investigate, but otherwise you have to focus.
Well, I'll get to that in a minute. I'm
Um,
doing weird ghost things.
okay. Weird ghost things. Weird ghost.
This is my.
That's
this is
your
my
answer.
Weird ghost things.
You're
Yeah.
so helpful.
These are my somatic components. When I cast my spells.
you have to go.
I
Wacky
could
waving
do... Would
It's
an
just weird
arcana
ghost
check
things.
That's the
help?
verbal component. Is woo.
Just ghost things.
Arcana check
Hashtag-
would happen.
Yes,
but-
much like chromatic spectrum, there's sound spectrum, and you have to match the intonations with the correct.
It's a tonal language.
Exactly. Yes.
I will quit this game, you guys. Like I'm having
Anyway.
a lot of trouble.
It's
All right.
I feel
There's
happy.
actually
I'm
really
starting to feel your
interesting-
pain. I'm
There's
just
actually a
gonna
really
say.
interesting correspondence between the sound frequencies and what used to be the color frequencies.
I'm sure it'd be
but
more
they don't like
interesting if I
mystery
read it
Scrakk.
myself.
Hey,
Like it's
hey,
fine.
You
I
would
feel
die
like 2
in the
people are my
dragon
max,
game.
but 3, oh my god.
Have you watched the dragon game aside from episode 1?
That was such a good episode, though.
Anyway.
So, Sha'Nehl is going to make an Arcana check. I will mention, Sha'Nehl, you can do this, but it is strange. As you think about it, you no longer, like, remember all the ins and outs of spirit mediumship. Your Arcana has become much more, it's become better, but also
and-
generalized.
Roll the crap anyway. Roll the 6 and plus 5 is 11.
11, yeah, you can't come to any conclusions as you overhear this, and it seems like
I feel like I should know, but I do not.
And Scrakk, meanwhile, is way more focused on
That
correcting
tracks.
Leopold. So Luminus, all you have is an eerie feeling. My apologies to KJ. And with that, about 10 minutes passes, you learn the ritual, another 10 minutes to cast it. And Leopold, so 20 excruciating minutes for Duchess. And Leopold, you
Twenty
have, now,
Educational minutes, you mean?
you have
Did
now
Luminus
cast.
did Luminus go over what the ghost said to us? To him?
It's comprehend
Or-
languages.
Yes.
I will just say,
Comprehend language.
like, that she said no to me.
Oh. Okay. Just ghost being ghost.
She looked at me, and then she like tried to. I tried to touch her. She tried to touch me, and then she went no.
You take rejection very well.
Wow.
I'm very proud of you, Luminus.
Yeah.
Thank you. I've had a lot of rejections in the past. So.
Yeah,
Could I
that's
see that
better.
that letter? That we were trying
Which
to
one?
read.
Oh, the one with the
I
The
hand
one in
it to him.
Terran.
yeah, the one
so,
from
You take
Kate
the letter in
Silicate.
Terran. The specifics of, and it's interesting. You physically have to touch it to understand what it says, rather than it's just not the simple reading. But as you sort of touch it and intuit what it says, it is largely, if not exactly, what you all thought. That being said, there's so basically, yes, it is a note sort of saying, "Dear Chip, tell these lovely people anything they want to know about Zip Gun. Except for the details of what we're doing. Ha ha ha. Sometimes folks from the outside don't quite understand what refiring's all about. she then says, but if they start asking about Aldir O'Leary, just explain that don't complicate matters and make sure they understand who was responsible. And if they mention, there was a thing of like, if they mention and then there's this symbol that your comprehend languages doesn't explain either. That was kind of, there's like a cipher symbol that she used, like a coded thing. If they mention that, just steer the conversation elsewhere and then let me know. You're doing a bang-up job down there. You're one of my favorite nephews. I think the world of you. I think you're amazing. And I just want nothing but good stuff for you.
Don't disappoint me.
Did we ever mention the gracious one in front of Chip?
Definitely did. Yeah.
You did, yeah.
You did.
Ufarino.
So charming.
We did, but we didn't ask him like questions about it. We mentioned it in front of
And
him.
he just
Zip.
engaged. Yeah.
Zip. What is zip gun?
You actually met Zipgun. Zipgun was that Brickborn.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah. He's the Brickborn who shot the lady in the neck when you guys were torturing, and then he ran out. Yeah.
He's fine.
Did you catch him?
Hey,
They caught him. Don't
hey,
worry.
Leo. Can you read this? And I'll pull out the Umbra book of Kylantha's.
Ooh.
Yes, I can, I assume.
Umbral is the language of the Shadow Elves.
Can Duchess commit that symbol to memory?
Absolutely. It's not a complicated symbol, it's just a little cipher. So, I actually can tell you what's in this book.
Wait, Kylantha, that was the one that...
This is by Kylantha Dark.
The spy.
The spy that
all the
I had a
crap of words that we
showdown with
took.
who fell off the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so goddamn many characters.
That's your fault, man.
Oh yeah, I wonder whose fault that is.
Yeah, oh my god.
Why can't I hold all these NPCs that I create?
Flashbacks
Because it's
to
just so
Pravinia's,
hard.
like,
I made it so
300
hard for
characters.
myself.
All right, I'll make more. It's fine. I'll turn the volume up then.
I'm gonna fucking do it.
I gotta have a word with these people, with whoever's making all these characters. Oh, it's me?
The book in Umbral is a guide to a certain branch of magic that deals with color. That deals with a means of channeling color in its absence, of determining color in a world seen only through like dark vision, where it's all shades of gray, of creating the equivalent of a chromatic world through nothing but shadow and gradations of it. Everything about this book is very theoretical. But the Shadow Elves reference flames of shadow that they can sort of conjure in some of their darker groves, especially once they go into the Shadow World, when they cross the veil to that more Fey-inspired place. As the book continues, and you actually, since you're sort of so proficient with Arcana, I'll say that you can kind of glean this from sort of thumbing through it very quickly. It begins describing, however, some of the major side effects of using this kind of magic. And it largely seems to be some form of soul corruption. The practitioners of this magic lose all sense of morality. They become twisted and more self-interested. They become, in some ways, easier to manipulate, but also, often will give in to their darkest impulses.
Does it detail, does it have any, for examples or real world, things that happen to real people that they can...
I'll tell you what, actually, in this case, Leo, make it if Duchess is kind of asking that as you're going for it, Leo, make an investigation roll as you look this over.
Hell yeah. 22.
With a 22, there are some real-world examples, but based on them, This work seems a couple 100 years old. So they are not... I mean, perhaps there are some elves still living who are around for this stuff, but they are not, they're not, like, super recent. But yes, it describes things such as people who have managed to channel these shadow flames, give in to every vice they can, or sort of led astray by greed, lust, vengeance, sort of these baser instincts that the shadow elves often are known to keep themselves extremely aloof from. The ultimate conclusion of this sort of work seems to indicate that this is not a field of magic worth studying. That whatever minor potential benefits it presents are outweighed by this corruption.
A couple of questions. Luminus, where did you get that book from?
Before I say that, Leo, do you share this with the whole group?
Well, he would, but in a very academic way. So
after Duchess is down her third martini, please continue. Yeah, go for it.
Duchess, you were there when we got it. It was from the hideout.
I'm sorry.
It was in the bag with the money.
It was in the bag with the money from that you guys took from the hideout.
From anywhere specific?
So she had a hiding place. Yeah, she had a hiding place.
Like, was that like, oh, this is all money we got from stealing from this one guy, or is that money from several different places, or?
I'm so
This
sorry.
was all from Calantha Dark, right?
In the safe house where they were staying, they found a hidden panel, and back in the panel, they found 2 bags full of money, magical lipstick, a paperweight that they think is a murder weapon, and these books.
And the one book that stood out to me was that one, and that's the book that I took with me.
And these they all belong to Calantha Dark.
Yeah.
Scrakk, on hearing this, like, goes up to Leo, and I grab your arms, and my little claws are almost digging painfully into whatever your mannequin.
Are you sure they're painful?
Well, yes. And, like, he looks manic for the first time that you've seen him. There's, like, real emotion in his face. And he's like, I need a translation, a full translation of this book. This could be the key to... I can't figure out the formula, but this could be the key. Can you write it down? Can you fully translate it?
Could I do that?
It probably takes
like a
time.
textbook.
It would take
he's
a
like
long
manic,
time,
like he doesn't even see.
At this point, your comprehend languages is done.
Yeah.
I do have one question.
Doc.
How good is my memory?
You can roll for it. Luminus, what's your question?
I wanted to ask Leo if there was any, well, actually, I guess I don't know, maybe with his, because I guess I wouldn't have noticed it. If there was, if Calantha had written anything in the book anywhere, like.
There were no margin notes. Calantha,
no margin notes.
She doesn't.
Okay.
I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
I rolled an 18 on memory. I don't know what plus I get to that.
It's that's going to be like on a case by case in the future basis. That's not
okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, Duchess.
Okay, so Duchess isn't asking this. KJ is, but does Duchess, considering his base urges, lust, and all that, is there any way we would know if Elgrave was going to tune prostitutes for infinity baths before the war? Do you know anything about him before the war?
You would be unaware of that from before the war.
What's that?
But would an infinity bath follow under base lust, and like, is that behavior as someone who may have?
Oh, I see. I mean, so that's a tricky thing. I mean, you know, like, to what degree is it? You know, it's a very fine line between giving into lust to everything else and like a healthy degree of kink in a consensual space. And that's not the focus of today's episode, so I'm not going to get into that.
We don't know much about him.
Just know that
That's next week's episode.
If kink shaming is your kink, it gets complicated. I remember that from something called Vanda.
Oh,
but
God,
listen,
damn it.
the point is, tell you what, make an integrity roll upon hearing that.
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. Integrity.
It is a skill.
22. 3.
Based on that means so integrity is typically like your understanding of morals and morality and all this stuff. So basically, hearing this, you think that what this is describing and like the real world examples that like Leopold was very quickly able to to explain to you, albeit from like centuries past,
Was it
indicate
quick?
What?
Was it quick?
No, it was not. It's the reason he didn't fit. Yeah, he could have done so. He had to cast that so many more times. Anyway, but as you sort of look this over, you don't think that. You think that describes people who are like, who would be like compulsively, madly, ruinously doing such things.
Got it.
You
Okay.
don't think that a guy who's doing it secretly and is in like control of all this stuff.
Okay.
He doesn't fall
Fair
into
enough.
that kind of.
Still gonna kill him later. But my follow-up question, I guess 2-part question. Does Freddy know comprehend languages? And could he animate some pens and papers and make the copies kind of for us easily? If, he was able to comprehend languages.
Is Freddy the fox?
Freddy is my husband. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
He's my
There's a lot of names
husband.
going around.
He does.
You
does
keep
not.
my husband's name out of your mouth.
Pulls out like a cartoon glove.
I can really see
Yeah.
that Duchess at this
Puts a
point is
brick
going-
in it and just.
Duchess just slaps all 3 of them and then screams.
Yeah.
Question. I probably should have asked this before I had my little rant on Leo, but does any of what was in this book sound familiar to Scrakk in his academic studies of the chromatic spectrum and all that?
No, this is
Okay.
describing stuff that should be theoretically impossible. Go ahead and put a roll up for me. Roll an Arcana check in response to hearing about it, Scrakk. Duchess, in answer to your question, Freddy does not know comprehend languages.
Okay.
Can
Well,
I
could
have
he
advantage
still
because this is
speed
my
up-
field of study?
Sorry, what?
Sorry, can I have advantage because this is my field of study?
No. I mean, you get your professor
Okay,
die
no problem.
already, right? Yeah. No.
Oh,
it's
that's
not-
right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, cool.
Duchess, yes, he would certainly be able to do stuff faster, with sort of that. He could definitely provide assistance for that. And there will be some people kind of in the Toon area of Hollyberry that could probably do a comprehend language or might even speak Umbral.
That'd be an awful lot of people to get into this game, though.
But yeah. And again, Dominic, Rodol there are spellcasters. You've got people. You can go to your capo and ask for help. Your capo regime.
He's strangely like.
Yeah, I don't know that I would
reluctant.
bring Freddy into this, but I just wanted to know if he could.
Yes,
Like, if
he
that was a path.
couldn't help with the translation. He doesn't speak Umbral, but Umbral's a very uncommon language.
Yeah. Well, Freddy's an uncommon kind of guy.
25.
25. As far as you understand, what this book is theorizing is actually impossible, and you would suspect that if they were creating flames out of shadow in a circumstance like this, what they're probably doing is just not pulling as much of the chromatic spectrum, but because in the world when this book was written, it still existed. They were just masking it. This may even wind up being... I mean, you would need to read it all to understand, like, oh, I see what they're doing. They're backdooring, and, for all you know, this could just be illusion magic.
Nice. I still need a translation by somebody that knows what they're talking about.
That being said, I guess with the 25, I will mention that there are pockets of the shadow world that seem not to have color. So... some of the theorizing about this. It didn't go very far, so that you didn't go down that route for the final stuff, and instead you brought in, color theorists and other people, and you went with this kind of overlaying stuff, but it was certainly something that was studied, and so the idea maybe you could go there and try this stuff, but even that, it's kind of like, okay, so there's a little pocket, there's no color, it's maybe latently bringing in the magic, all around it, etc. Yeah.
And that's heavy.
Should have at least covered this. I should have heard of this before.
I don't know. Is this book widely printed? Doesn't seem like it is.
The book is handwritten.
I should know. This is what I do. There should have been something somewhere. Even if it's wrong, I should know.
I mean, that just sounds like I should know everything.
It was kind of our job.
Do you understand what I did? What I'm trying to undo?
Not really. You just kind of sound like a kid who wishes he knew everything right now. I'm just saying.
Well, he is like
Are you
12.
talking about skip bleach?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Luminus and Duchess both know very well what you did.
To be fair, no one's gone into detail about how involved they were with skip bleach. We just know that you three were.
Actually,
Yeah.
specifically went into detail about how involved I was.
Oh well, no one went in for Scrakk at least.
Oh, yes, no.
Yeah.
Well, Scrakk...
I was one of the primary research scientists.
Okay.
I worked on all the theoretics behind the magic.
Duchess is opening up a death note over here. And
It
Scrakk the team, huh?
Keep talking.
It wasn't supposed to do that,
Oh
but
god.
The amount of times we've heard that
Is
before.
there any like behind Duchess? There's like she's squeezing a piece of coal into a diamond just behind her back. Yeah.
I wasn't the only one, but
Oh man.
So
Well, I
Duchess,
assume
can
not.
you give a whole list of names of everyone involved?
Who needs that lipstick, man? All you gotta do is just ask the right questions.
the only people that have a whole list of names are much senior to me.
Well, Scrakk, you may have been one of the ones involved in creating this monstrosity, but like myself, we're also the only ones who have a chance of undoing it.
Is that
That's
the
why
only
I
project you were?
need to know
part
what's
of?
in that book.
Well,
Me?
no, I have a long history. Well, Scrakk probably, he's not very old, but I have a long history.
I mean, in the war specifically. I don't
Well,
need
no,
your
I was
whole
actually-
resume. I just mean like.
Well, the other project I was involved in was the mannequin project that ended up this way.
Sure.
There were a few other small ones, I suppose, but nothing incredible.
You think we have the power to undo this?
I'm not sure, but the more we learn about how skip bleach came to pass, the less we realize we knew in the first place.
I mean, we're still just 6 random folks who. What are we gonna do against the whole engine of government and conspiracies and?
I
That is
think
a
what
big
I'm
surprise how
beginning to
fragile-
suspect is that we're not 6 random folks.
I don't. The emphasis wasn't on the random. The emphasis on the 6.
No, it's definitely the 4 of you plus 2 randos.
That's true, as far as I can tell.
not
You
involved
two
in
had
this
nothing to
shit
do
at
with
all.
it.
You're not, but they were trying to kill you,
Wait.
right, boss?
That's
I
true,
mean,
they were super trying to kill you.
Yeah, they were.
Have you not seen the 7 rogues in the talkies? That movie? When the 7 rogues go and take down the evil bad guys?
Sounds
Evil
like a crap
goblins,
movie.
The evil goblins, the hundreds of evil goblins.
Yeah, of course I've seen that movie.
I
like
haven't
1,000
watched
times.
a movie since The Color left. It's
Oh.
just not the same.
Oof. That actually then.
I legit hurt myself when I laughed while I was drinking.
Well, the original movie it was
I've only
based
seen
on
one.
was out in color.
Scrakk, how closely, if you were one of the head researchers, how closely were you working with Elgrave?
Elgrave didn't really have much of a
Elgrave
role.
is the
Elgrave was
she's
the-
captain. No,
Elgrave was like
No.
he was
Admiral.
like the big time military guy kind of in charge of it. So you would have
Elgrave didn't really.
he would have come
Yeah,
around periodically and just kind of been like, "How's it all going? Great."
Right,
Good
he,
work.
he would
Okay.
supervise in the way that
Yeah.
a military general with scientific knowledge would supervise.
Yeah. I'll tell you
yeah.
what, Scrakk. Roll a I want you to roll an insight and an integrity check for me.
Okay. Go with insight first.
Spicy.
Insight is 2.
Okay.
Integrity is 9.
You have
You gonna spill the
almost-
beans on
You have no
Belgrave?
opinion on him. He wasn't a science guy. He wasn't a scholar. So you
He wasn't the science guy.
I didn't really work closely with
All right.
much of anyone. I
Okay.
kind of just did research and
I understand. Don't hurt yourself trying to get the rest of that out. I get it. It's fine.
All right. So then, okay. I guess it's. All right. This whole question of my involvement in this stuff is really bothering me. So, the only conceivable reason is dear old dad, who I know nothing about.
I was gonna say, maybe you're related to somebody who was there.
Joe, it comes
Maybe
down to
your
daddy
dad
issues,
is
isn't
the
it?
charmer.
Nah, we already
I'm
know
pretty sure
that
the charmer is
charming
an
one
old.
is this. We already know this charming one was Brickborn, something like that. With,
No, we do not know
No.
anything like that. We have no
Dominic.
idea.
I will
Yeah?
say
We
this.
don't.
And I would urge you to lean into this because sometimes it makes sense, even though it also is fun for Dom to kind of come up with these things. But how many clue points do you have right now?
just one. I'm willing to spend it for some insight.
If
while
you'd
I'm
like to
thinking
spend it,
about
I will
this.
give you
Yeah.
a very specific clue about something. There was a conclusion the group jumped to a minute ago. If you'd like to spend it, I can give you some intel.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It's not a roll for me. It's just I'll
It's
spend
not
it.
a roll. Dominic, kind of thinking about this, trying to think of this, you guys start talking about dad, and Sha'Nehl mentions that Il Grazioso might be his dad. Dominic says no, Il Grazioso is some brickborn. But, Dominic, you pick up this letter that Silicate Kilner wrote. And, they keep talking about how there's this symbol, and Duchess was trying to study this symbol. And you look at
Right.
this symbol, and Leopold said that this symbol was basically in the midst of, and if they ask about this person, don't tell them anything and come tell me later.
Right.
You look at that, and whatever that symbol is, you don't think it stands for Il Grazioso. You feel it's someone who's connected, but you think it's about that brickborn.
Zip gun?
And the
No.
symbol,
No, the one.
the symbol's meaning becomes clear as you look at it. What this sigil means. It's kind of like it's just whatever the visual puzzle of it. The name is inscription.
Oh,
Inscription?
There's a brickborn named Inscription. You
Yeah, we
are
heard
sure of
that.
it in your in your
With
half-orc
the
bones.
EST. There's a brickborn that has EST on their cheek.
Yeah, for established something like that, or
Yeah.
inscription.
So you think that this is not a symbol about Il Grazioso. You don't think nothing about this symbolizes. Basically, you just
Charming.
spent your clue point to be Robert Langdon, professor of symbology.
Oh.
As you sort of look at this and you're like, no, this isn't charming. This is an inscription. It's like an inscription. It's like a mark, and you're like, that's the brickborn. That's who they were talking about. Maybe that is also the charming one, and it's unbeknownst to whatever. You couldn't speak to that, but you are sure that the name that Silicate was telling him to be on the lookout for and not to let you guys know about, to tell her if you asked about,
Is inscription.
is inscription.
Huh.
So Dutch is the symbol that you've remembered. That's what it means.
So I see Luminus reacting to this. Did you find something, Luminus?
no.
No.
I thought I wrote something down.
Inscription. Huh. Well, that narrows it down. How many brickborn are out there named Inscription? But
So maybe what's her name?
Inscription is just the John of brickboard names.
Maybe Ambrosia. You could tell Ambrosia to find
No.
everything out about it.
yeah, well, once she gets back with the info about the cleaners, we'll do that. You know what? I'll make a call. It's about time. So, see, I told you guys I came here. Well, not you, Scrakk, since you weren't here. I told you all, most of you, I came here 2 months ago. I don't know much about the new world, very much, but I came here to search for dear old dad. Mama's still back in the old country. I had a feeling dear old dad had something in here back in the new country, and a lot of good that did for me, huh? I know Dad. Out of character, do I know Dad was a part of the clan?
He
of
was
the
in
family?
the Mozo
Yeah,
family.
he was the Matto family. Yeah.
I keep thinking of the Terminal, that Tom Hanks movie, and he keeps saying his dad is in that can.
Yeah. And then he
Oh,
says
sure.
it's jazz.
Yeah.
I've never seen The Terminal, so.
It's a good movie. Anyway, you guys let me know how it happens later, because I gotta get going.
All right.
Thank you.
Later. Bye bye. So
At this
yeah,
point, ice cream is brought to Luminus, and he just
sure, you can have the day off since.
he,
What did he do today?
he Garfield lasagnas.
He did he did
Oh yeah, he did all that issue that caused me to get knocked out.
yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe we deduct his pay. But yeah,
So-
Dominic, and I mean, I think you came here, you were immediately put in charge of stuff. Your capo is Rodol Matzo. He's in his 50s. You're one of his soldiers. He's always been pretty nice to you. You're always treated him with respect. He seems to show it up. You know Murillo. You do notice that when you first arrived, when you first got off of the boat,
Flashback.
Rodol was he was there, and he was happy to sort of greet you and meet you. But he was accompanied by a pretty old wood elf named Nona Pointy Ears. I think I put this to you in an old email, but I'll sort of mention this sort of now just for your recollection in case you're trying to remember these things. Nona Pointy Ears is the consigliere of the family, of the Mozzo family. She is like the second-hand person to the Dawn. And she's a wood elf, much like, because I'm going for a Tom Hagen thing. But that's a Godfather
Got
reference,
it.
gang.
Just got it at the second.
Nona Pointy Ears. So she came to you, and you recall she greeted you in a traditional orcish way, even though she's an elf. She sort of checked your tusks very specifically. She told you to behave, and then she walked away, and that's the last time you saw her.
Okay. So, I imagine that. Well, I don't know if I imagined it. Since I came here specifically to look for my father and that history, I'm pretty sure I would have asked somebody back in the day.
We probably should have discussed this, but kind of when you were first here, you
Probably.
talked to Rodol, and Rodol told you that your father, his location is currently not known, but now that you're here, they will look for him again. They'll kind of put out the feelers. He might be, he might have gone to one of the other cities. Rodol was kind of very direct with you from the outset, saying it is possible he's been killed.
Right.
It's possible somebody did him and we don't know about it, and the vengeance that he deserves has not been taken, yada yada yada. There things were hairy between the families for a while. All of this is to say, he says, you're here, you're looking, we will look into it. You haven't asked since then, no one's volunteered anything since then.
Alright. Then it's about time for me to give a call to Capo here. Alright.
Are you sure you want to get him involved?
Was your dad charming at all?
I didn't know my dad. That's why I came here.
But do people have stories about him being charming?
He charmed a human woman. That's gotta be somewhat charming. But no, I don't know anything about him being so charming that I have a whole bunch of brothers, half brothers out there. Alright, so let's go outside now. Are we done here, by the way? We all caught up here?
I wouldn't
So-
say caught up, but for now.
Are we done here, rat? So basically, as kind of night is going on, are we going to split off to some personal time? Is that what's going on? Dominic, are you going to go talk to Rodol tonight? Sha'Nehl, I
Yeah.
know you want to talk to Nelson. Is that correct?
Possibly. I would also like to go to the bank or something to get some real money.
To the
I
bank to
can.
get real money. You can attempt to go to the bank to get real money. That's doable.
So we admit that the money we found is useless.
Well,
It's
until
not-
we get it.
It is
laundered.
not useless.
But-
It's
Useless in its current form.
So Dominic, you're gonna go to Rodal. Does anybody else have personal business they'd like to attend to this evening? And Anthony, just so you know, we're kind of doing a thing where in this game people, kind of can go off and do their own thing on sort of briefer solo game, solo situations.
I want to find out who would know more about the Shadow Elves and all this nonsense I just heard about.
So you just want to do research.
And that's what Scrakk does.
Leo,
Yeah.
Sha'Nehl, are you guys going to bring Scrakk back to the safe house, or are you going to let him just go to his apartment?
I mean, we'll tell him it's there. If he wants to come.
Yes, he can join
It's
us.
probably safer than your apartment.
Probably, especially after they caught me snooping around. Yeah, I'll come to the safe house.
Right.
Okay. So Scrakk and Leo will kind of go back to the safe house, but Scrakk will prepare for research into shadow stuff. Okay? Safe house to prepare research. Duchess, do you have any solo business?
Yeah, we don't necessarily have to go through it, but I think at this point, Duchess should probably come clean to Freddy about everything going on.
Okay, Duchess. We'll just say, we may do this. Duchess prepares for an uncomfortable conversation with Freddy.
Man.
So in that case, you're probably going to ask Luminus to not crash at your place tonight.
I assume he's like drowning in ice cream at the moment, so I don't even think he's realized,
He's always welcome at the safe house.
All right. So in that case, we have a few things going on, and I will sort of, in doing the research can be included. You guys can certainly go try to get some, you can go to a magic bookshop and get some books to research. You could go to a library. I think you probably will sort of call it an early day so people can go do these, banker's hours things before it's over. Okay, so basically there's 4 little things to follow here of personal business. 2 people are connected, so we'll go. Oh, no, wait, I gotta roll a monochromatic die. What the hell am I doing? 1, 2.
Well, all monochromatic on stream, so it doesn't matter.
Is this safe house that special item that creates that room? Or is this a different safe house? Is it an actual physical safe house?
It's a physical safe.
Physical
Safe
safe
house.
Safe house. All right. So, Sha'Nehl, you're gonna go to the bank first.
Yes, I would like to before they close.
All right. So you walk into a bank. Sort of whoever's there is like, how can I help you? Hello.
Hello there. My granny just gave me this money.
Oh, I see.
I
Well,
would like to.
I see. So these are pre-war bills. This is
Yes.
just a stack of, sequential pre-war bills. Okay.
Granny was very organized.
Your granny, you say? You're a mannequin, so this was a granikin?
It was my creator's mother.
Ah, of course. Well, as these are pre-war tender, there is a 2-week waiting period for us to sort of verify, but we can give you an IOU and you can reclaim, hopefully
you
the full
give-
amount in 2 weeks. Less a 15% fee for the.
Banks. Can you give me advancement?
Unfortunately, we cannot give you an advance on it. However, we understand that times are tight. And if you're willing to take a more sizable percentage, we can bet on the hope that it is legitimate currency. And we would be happy to provide you with a 40% return on the value tendered. So that would be 40 simoleons.
Yes, that will be fine, dear bloodsucker. I'm sure.
Bloodsucker?
Karen, I think. Yes.
Bloodsucker. I'm gonna roll to see if this person just took offense to that. Uh-oh. She slides the bills back and says, As it turns out, actually, I am not sure we'll be able to even secure that kind of advance. Perhaps you can find a less reputable bank.
I will write a review on Yelp.
I look forward to reading that in whatever magazine Yelp is.
In this era, it's just a dude who yells on a corner.
Just yelp
About
out.
different restaurants.
Don't go in there!
Yelps on.
Don't go in there!
I-
1 star!
I'll go-
1 star! Sha'Nehl,
As someone
I'll
who
tell you
used
what,
to
if
work
you're
at a
going
bank,
to
this is
look
killing
around
me.
for a few different banks,
Yeah.
just roll me a persuasion roll.
Alright. I rolled a 15. I don't think I'm very good at persuasion. No, -1.
This does not look sus at all.
Okay, so with a
Maddie.
14, you do find a bank who is willing to give you, they'll give you 40 current tender for that stack upon inspecting it.
Fine, I'll take it.
Okay, so yes, so you have 40 gold that you can use.
Blah, blah, blah. And I will like to buy a few things for that, but that can be offline.
Oh yeah, oh god, oh but you're gonna, you mainly just, you went up. Understood. So yes, Sha'Nehl will sort of purchase these things. Are you going to try to talk to Nelson tonight is my question.
Is there a chance I could just accidentally run into him? Because I can just call him, that's fine, but...
Yeah, I mean, you think you know where he'd be. You think you know where, like, his, you know where the owed offices are. You could probably intercept him as he left. If you want to try that, you can. I will probably cut over to a different scene, though, in the interim.
Yeah, just cut over.
Okay. We don't have to roleplay it, as you say, Duchess. But let's do it anyway. So you go and talk to, as you go to talk to Freddy. Freddy's like, "Hey, hello, sweetheart. Hi. I'm just vacuuming here. This vacuum's name is Vic because he's an uncreative little idiot. I said come up with a name that isn't a play on vacuum, and he stared at me for a full 5 minutes, unblinking, and then he said my name is Vic. And I said that sucks, just like you, and here we are. Anyway,
You are so funny. Just
God.
the funniest. Yeah.
Why are you using your complimentary voice? That can only mean one thing.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Well.
I mean, I get it.
No.
He's huge.
No. Nope. It's never that.
Hmm? Oh, okay.
Yep. So. Funny story. You are going to laugh so hard when this is all over. I have not been going to Color Me Depressed every night. I was going to a different bar every night and getting blackout drunk because of the depression. And so because that all happened, my days got blurry, and I accidentally went to my Tuesday bar on a Sunday, and that Sunday that bar got shot up by some gangsters. And so obviously no one died because I properly defended myself and the residents of said bar. Well, no one inside the bar died. I can't really speak about the people outside of the bar, but that's a whole nother story. But anyways, I was unhurt, unscathed as usual. But now, because I properly well defended that bar, I was hired by the bar owner to help find the people that shot up the bar. And I did successfully, mostly. But the job's not completely done yet. We're going to. It now looks like it's also somehow they were trying to kill my boss, but it also somehow is about Skip Bleach and probably all those other projects. And so, hey, I'm going to try and fix the color, which I think is great for us and humanity and any future children. I think that would be great to have a world of color back. And also, I may kill a general but he's a really bad guy. And a few other people that followed under him, but I think it's all fine. It's all in the name of fixing color. But everything's gonna be great because I'm usually fine after all these things.
Are you going to mention that your boss, who's the bar owner, is also a part of the mob?
Oh, yeah. And my boss is, by the way, I mean, like, he's not the head of the mob or anything. He's just, he's in it. But I mean, well, it's like a second cousin or something. He's not like an immediate
His
member.
head explodes.
Yeah, I expected that. Vic, can you get that at all on your own, or are you just gonna sit there?
Is this Vic you're talking to?
Yes.
Blink, blink.
All right, yeah.
A tiny little head is emerging from Freddy's stump, and he goes, "Is it done? Is it over?"
The story or the happenings?
Story.
Yeah, I am done telling the story for the night. I mean, I assume there'll be more stories.
Wow.
I
Full
told
size
you
guy.
were gonna think it was so funny.
No, you told me I was gonna laugh, and I had to, because that was the setup and the punchline.
Got it. Yeah, that's on me.
Duchess,
Mm-hmm.
this is not funny. This is like what humans would think is funny. And since they were the bad guys in the war, they have the worst senses of humor. They're based on the Germans, you understand.
I mean, I do understand. Yes, I do.
Do you know what the German word for quack is? They say
That's
mech.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that sounds funny.
Duchess, now's not the time. We all know that
Nope.
quack is the funniest word in the English language.
You're right. Yes.
Right up there with spring and destitute. Duchess, I gotta tell you, this is
Mm-hmm.
that was a lot to take in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need a minute.
Yep.
He walks over to the clock on the wall and rips one of the minutes off and just starts eating it. Need salt. Get some salt.
Feel better at all?
Dong, dong, dong. Yeah, I feel
Perfect. Good.
well.
Also, sorry, the guy that did stay the night, he's just one of the people that was in the bar, and is now also working for the bar. He's like my coworker, I guess. But we're stopping. We're gonna, fix color together, plus 4 other people.
Well,
Granted, it does seem like 3 of them kind of caused the problem to begin with, but I mean,
ha! Ha!
they're probably like,
Ha!
maybe when this is all over, they turn out to be terrible people, so I'll just kill them too. It's fine. Who knows? We'll see. It's step by step, day by day. I'm still gathering info.
Well, good luck with that. He walks to the hallway, looks around. Where the hell are you? And the coat rack kind of slithers out and like puts all the coats back on. And you notice that like the standing lamp is like adjusting her thing and wiping lipstick off. He's like, cut it out, you two. Now's not the time for that. The standing light goes, "We get off on your tension." He just takes his coat, puts his hat on, says, "Well, I'm gonna do what you do. I'm going out to get a drink." He slams
Try the alley. Okay.
all the pictures fall. Kind of like as he slams the door, they all jump off the wall for a second, and then, and after a few quiet moments, and Vic the vacuum starts getting.
Well, considering I didn't have to run him over with the steamroller to calm him down, I think that went really well.
Cool. Leo and Scrakk, you guys are going to, oh, shoot, I have to roll this, too. Jesus. Leo and Scrakk, what are you two up to?
Yes. Well, I'm just showing Scrakk around the safe house. This is the.
Oh, are you guys going to
wall.
stop and get books on your way home, or you're just going to go?
Oh,
you're just gonna stay
yes.
house?
We should stop and get some books.
Okay. Do you want to go to a library or a store?
I suppose a library would have a greater selection of academic pieces. Scrakk, you're muted.
I'm muted. Where do I think would be most productive? Do I honestly do I think I could find any information in publicly available sources that I don't already know?
No, you'll probably need some you'll need some very specific books.
Yeah.
The Library of San Termino would have one. And since you guys are going down to Co Park, it'll kind of be like downtown to the main library, so you can probably find some good stuff there. Or you can find you can go to like a rare bookstore. It's basically, the rare bookstore is going to be able to give you what you're looking for faster. It's going to cost money. The library is free, but will involve like hours of research. And you'll probably have to go back tomorrow, but you can at least get started.
How much money?
You'd have to go and roll to see what's available and to find out.
I have 5 silver and 8 copper to my name. So
You also have 100 simoleons.
Yes, in old money.
Is it real?
I'm not quite sure yet, honestly.
Let's go to the library.
All right.
If you guys go to the library,
it is.
that is, did either of you, I don't think anybody took the sage background, right?
No.
What did I take? Give me a second.
Yeah, I think most people did custom.
No, I took Cloistered Scholar, which is almost the same, but not quite.
And it doesn't have the research feature.
No, it has the facility access feature.
So in that case, I guess just go ahead and why don't you both just make investigation rolls for me?
Do I get my professor die on that?
Can I just assist him in it?
No,
or-
you only get it on your field of study.
Okay.
Can I just assist him in it?
Sure.
Or should
Scrakk
I-
roll at advantage.
Because I think he has a better investigation.
Do you have guidance, Leo? Guidance
Do
cantrip?
I? That's a very good question.
Actually, I say that, I'm not even sure if they can get it. I think they can, but these things
No!
have changed a few times. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So I have +7 investigation right now, so that brings us to 23.
A 23, very good. I will say that the two of you can get enough books checked out. Take back, we won't go through it. To basically, like, you are getting a very firm handle on some of the more theoretical elements of sort of the shadow world, specifically shadow elf culture, shadow magic, all this stuff. You're laying the foundation. You'll need to keep studying for a while, but you're well versing yourselves in it. To like.
When I'm showing him around the safe house. Yes, welcome. Here is the wall which I stand motionless against for multiple hours during the night to sleep.
Scrakk
And
has
here is the
absolutely
wall.
no
There,
interest
there.
in the safe house. He just sits down and starts reading, no
I'm
matter
still
what you
telling
say.
you about it.
That he's not. That he's.
Unsurprising.
Leo, read
And
the
here's
room.
the secret compartment where the murdering spy lady had a strange back secret room. Oh, you're not paying attention. Well, anyways, your bed will be upstairs somewhere, and I'll probably have to tell you this again, which I'm happy to do.
How the hell did they determine the spec in this dark?
So, Sha'Nehl,
Mhm.
are you going to try to see Nelson tonight?
I'll try to run into him.
Wonderful. Yeah, I mean, it's just not even. It's been obscene. Okay. Wait, Scrakk, what is your passive perception?
11.
Yeah, perfect. Sha'Nehl, you go to try to sort of bump into Nelson as he's leaving work or something. Go ahead and just make a just make a perception check as you kind of just we'll say that can be your like looking
I
around.
rolled a 1.
A 1. So Sha'Nehl, you spend a long time waiting for Nelson. He got a haircut and you didn't know. So about an hour after everyone's left for the day, you get the sense that he's not
It's not coming. I'll just go back. I'll go back to the safe house. On my way, I stop in some stores or something and pick up
Sure.
some supplies that I.
Wonderful. Oh my god. Perfect. Into Nelson, but can't find him. Returns home after shopping. Delightful. Dominic.
Now, my passive perception is higher now than it was last time.
Well, you said
Do I-
16. Is it higher than
Yeah.
16?
It is 16.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Dominic, yours is 15?
Yep.
This is just mean-spirited.
Is there someone like stealthing or something? Well, I would.
So,
know, so.
I'll do it because it won't change what you do. Sha'Nehl kind of walks back, and after a few moments, a just kind of very nondescript figure in a trench coat and hat kind of turns and follows back to the safe house. Sha'Nehl goes in. This person in the hat goes over to a bench, pretends to tie their shoe. There's another person in a hat is sitting there and says, 2 more of them in there. Ooh, plot thickens. So as the military intelligence police who have been following Scrakk since he came back, that just nobody's noticed, because I've just rolled high on all the multiple agents. Scrakk went in, they followed the people who came out. Dominic, you go to Rodol's, and if you knock on the door, Rodol's daughter is there.
I know her name.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Rodol's daughter would be, let's roll roll a d4.
D4.
Hold on, wait, what do you got?
Okay, 2.
2. 2 would be Dina. D-I-N-A.
Dina. Good to see you. How old is she? Young? Teenager? Adult?
Roll a d4.
1. She
1.
a baby?
So she's 30. She's like 8.
Hey, Dina. You're growing big now. How are you?
I don't know you.
You don't know me.
You all look the same to me. A
Oh,
little
oh.
thumbs up.
You got an attitude, huh? Anyways, Dad home?
Meh. She just runs away and leaves the door open. Dominic, you do notice that there's like a very large orc like standing in the hallway who just kind of smirks and nods at you as you walk in. He let her open the door because he saw who it was. And he sort of says,
Capo.
You got an appointment or you just showing up?
Oh, I'm just showing up. I need to talk with Capo.
That's fine, he's in a good mood.
That's good.
His horse won the race.
That's excellent. Alright,
He's cooking. He just points to the kitchen.
I'll go put my hat on the rack and same with my coat.
Mhm.
You know, because it's Noir. We all have suits. Alright. To the kitchen.
He's just, what's he making?
Go back
Ooh,
stairs.
he's making
Lasagna?
piccata, actually. He's in a
Piccata.
zesty mood. Oh wait. Nope, couldn't find good lemons. He's just making some pizzas or something. He's not gonna do a red sauce. Those aren't good without the red either. But he's in a good mood. He's making the best non-super vegetable stuff he can. He'll have
Gray
marsala.
sauce.
That would be fine.
There's no longer any red sauce anymore, so
It's just sauce. I mean, it's still
The
good.
gray,
but
the
it's
gray
not
sauce.
The gray sauce. He kind of comes in and goes,
Capo.
"Oh, hey, come on in. How's it going? Dominic, Here, roll up your sleeves, make yourself useful.
Sure. What are you making here? Pizza?
Yeah, you know, just putting some focaccia dough, you know, good orcish bread.
Alright. Gonna do some Salt Bay stuff. What's
Don't
the
do
post?
any of
What's
that.
the-
Don't cut
what's
that.
the-
Stop, Dominic. Don't do that. Come on. I'm in a
Alright,
good
alright.
mood here. That's
Okay,
what-
okay, alright.
No one does that. You just put some muscle into it.
I'll make a strength check to put some muscle into kneading this dough.
Go ahead.
17 plus 2 is, plus 2, so 19.
+2?
Yeah, plus 2 strength.
He
I'm a
looks
dex-
at you. He
I'm a
looks
dex
at
sorta
you
guy.
as you do that, and says, "What happened to your hand?"
It's a long story, which I'll go into. So what is it? So me and a couple of employees have been looking into who shot up the bar. You know, it's all fixed. Don't worry about it.
The
But,
bar
you know,
was
we
shut
gotta-
up.
It's as I said, it's a long story. Elves shot it up, and
Elf shot it up. Are we going to war?
no. It
That's
was,
good. That's a relief. Hey, good news, kids. We're not going to war.
it was some troublemakers that we already had a nice discussion with, and they sent fixers, and we fixed the bar up. We're just amicable here, friendly chats. You know,
Well,
it was
you handled your own
misunderstanding.
problem. Misunderstanding. Well, if you handled it, I'm fine with that.
I certainly, but well, there's been some. I've had some questions here that's been lingering for a few days now. So you told me when I came here, right? Papa. He's been missing for a while now, right?
I have no new news, but the queries have been made. We're looking
All right.
around. There's some people wondering if maybe he went out west. So we're currently.
west.
I'll tell you, it is not anyone's number one priority. You know, a lot going on, but
Of course.
not across the country kind of situation.
What did he do for the family? Did he pause the pizza making?
He
For a
paused
second there.
That just needs to rest anyway. Your father, he was a finesse kind of person. You understand what I'm saying? He was
He was a dex build rather than a strength build.
more like a charisma build. He was he was almost a negotiator in ways. He
Charming fellow, maybe?
He looks at you very closely as you say that. I mean, charming enough.
I
was very,
tried. I know. So okay.
Mhm.
In character, I know that charming has a specific meaning. I tried to be sly about it. So if you want me to roll stealth about making it as natural as possible,
Sure, roll a deception check. That's fine.
15 plus 5, so not nat 20.
He will actively be inciting upon you using that word.
Of course,
so we'll
of
roll it.
course, as I expect. So
Oh man,
roll a 21 or above.
he literally rolled a 21.
Ah man.
I said he'd be proficient in insight, and he has a +3, and I didn't even. I'm like, not even with wisdom. He had an 18 + 3. So yeah. Oh, you know what though? Let's roll for his guy at the door. I'll give him a +3 as well.
They both know.
No.
They
His
both-
guy at the door kind of comes in and whispers something to the boss. Uh-oh. He kind of grabs some flour and like tosses it in your face. Dominic, somebody's got a tail.
What?
Yeah,
Oh man.
you're followed here. Now you're asking me some questions about your boss. Are these things connected? Did you know you had a tail?
Well, I didn't notice him. If I had, I wouldn't have brought them straight to you.
I believe that. What's the vibe from a family and the doorman I'll roll an insight for That's actually a 13 on the die. That's all right. No, it's a 15. The doorman will sort of say for a moment. Seems I think he's military. Doesn't seem like a cop, but he's kind of got that vibe. Military. You're not even from here. What's the military care about you?
That's what I've been trying to ask for the past few days. So now I'm just gonna go and rant about this. So these motherfuckers shot up my bar, and they're all about this stupid skip bleach shit, which I don't know anything about.
Language, there's children present.
Okay, the skip bleach junk that I don't know anything about, and yada yada yada. And they keep talking about, you know, military, people, conspiracies, and my name never comes up, and I have no idea what I did to make everyone mad that they want to kill me. I have
Why do you
no
think people
clue.
want to kill you? Maybe they just want to kill these skip bleach people.
Well, then Zipgun goes and tries to poison me specifically, and
Who's Zipgun?
one of my workers, he apparently worked with the Illyrays, not the Illyrays, Silicate's crew or something like that.
Wait, he worked for the elves or he worked for the Brickborn?
Both.
Dominic. I'm glad that you've tried to set things right on your own, but your house does not sound in order.
Because it's a bar.
So, are any of these skip bleach people talking to you about your father? Is that why you're wondering about your dad now?
Well, that's the thing that just keeps coming up and up and up. Every time I look into this shenanigans with skip bleach keeps coming out, my name never comes up, right? So I'm wondering, why are they mad at me? Why do they want to kill me? What's the deal with me? And the only thing I can think of that I don't know of is Papa. Mama's back in the old country. She's never been here, I don't think, so they don't know her. She didn't have anything to piss all these people off.
He kind of gestures to his lieutenant who goes back outside to watch the door. He comes to you and says, whoever your father is, if he's alive, which I hope, listen, there's maybe 10 people who know who your father is. Do you understand that? You're not one of them.
Yeah.
Okay. There's 10 people who understand who your father is. And these are people who don't talk.
Was Silicate one of them?
She better fucking not be. There's no children in here, right? No. I'm out here, Daddy! Alright. Silicate is not one of them.
Okay.
But Silicate? You talked to Silicate? You went to the Killer Yards? Have you spoken to Silicate?
I was looking for Zipgun to try to figure out what the hell he was up to.
You talking to someone of that stature of another family? This is a breach of etiquette.
I didn't know who she was. She didn't introduce me till after.
Oh. Alright, well, be careful when you go to the territory of other families, is all I'm saying. But Dominic, did she talk to you about your father?
No, I don't. She never brought up. I never brought up my father with her or anything.
Good. So you think the people came to attack you at your bar? You think Zipgun attacks you in your bar? Your own man.
Oh, man.
Elves come with
Can't trust
guns.
guy?
He comes to you with a poisoned candy bar?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's it.
And you think, you're thinking that you were the main target of this assault?
That's what I believe. What was his name? Aldir O'Leary specifically
Boy, when he says it like that, he makes us look like we're fucking idiots. I don't know. I just.
I'm telling you, I have
We are.
+0 intelligence. This is what I understand. So I say, well, Aldir O'Leary.
Then maybe, look, this may be too much Have we given you too much too early, Dominic?
You didn't give me this. This
No,
fell into my lap.
I gave you a bar. Is this too much for you to handle?
Like, what? I mean, the bar? No. All of this stuff with the government, and all of this shenanigans. I didn't ask for this. But then people come in here, start making trouble, and I have to ask questions of why they made trouble. And it just keeps bringing up more and more questions. And I thought it had nothing to do with the family. I thought I'd just piss someone off, you know.
I like that you tried to handle this on your own. I respect that, but I don't want you to do that anymore. Okay? I need to know if people have attacked something that represents the Mozart family. You understand?
Yeah.
Now, I was well aware of this attack on your bar, because of course I was.
Of course.
And clearly you wanted to make things right on your own, and it seems that you have done so. I hear that gremlins fixed up the facade.
That's what the elves
Quality
said.
workmanship. Is this why you had to talk to the Brickborn? Because they're not going to be happy about that if they find out about this.
That's a
And they're going to find out about this because there were gremlins on the fucking street.
I mean, if they're happy or not, does that matter? Out of character.
Yeah, it matters. We want to keep people happy. There's no reason to cause these problems. Obviously, your workmanship will probably be better than them with a bunch of, I mean, we know what the bricks build. They built fucking bricks. Dominic, if this is too much for you, you tell me. I'm not putting Gianna in front of that place, but I can shuffle things around. There are soldiers who can handle this. But I need you to start communicating with me a little bit more swiftly, if you understand.
Very well.
And I want you to tell me if anybody asks you about your father. Whoever they are, I want to know who that person is. You understand?
Will do.
Good. And I will tell you something as soon as there is something to tell.
Alright. By the way,
Yeah.
even though I'm not proficient in insight, could I be been actively making insight checks?
I'll always let you do an insight.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Alright. That's a 5. No, I do not know what he's hiding. He's just a mask of questions.
It's a 5? That's a shame,
5.
because I did roll a 2.
But he has a +3.
He's got more than a +3, but like if
man.
you'd rolled halfway decent, you might have gotten something. But Dominic, at this point, I should roll this actually rather than.
I can't read him.
That's fun. That's a 1. All right, let's see what your friend does.
My friend?
That's a 17. You hear a gunshot outside.
What the?
Rodol, like, on instinct, just, like, spins and he grabs from, we'll say, up, yeah, he just pulls down this, like, massive shotgun and is just, like, running and he's starts running to the front door. After about 10 seconds, you hear 2 more shots.
So, while I was still processing all this information, he runs out there. I hear 2 shots. Yeah, I'm coming out.
The shots were not even fired by him. It's like as he's like opening the front door and he's like yelling at the kids to stay inside. He runs out, and you guys see in the street, his man is like gripping his stomach and he's got his own gun out. Actually, I gotta roll to make sure the guns don't misfire. That one's fine. That one's bad. That one's fine. Okay, so we'll roll this in such a way of your guy's clutching his stomach. And his hand is like explode, like he's got like shrapnel all up his hand and it's all ripped up because his own gun has exploded. But his first shot actually got off and hit a G-man square between the eyes.
Uh-oh.
So you guys have a dead Fed on the street.
Oh.
Shot.
And they go, I think I spooked and fucking shot me, I'm sorry. Fuck. And Roto goes, Maroon. Okay, he just runs up and he goes, get him, come on. Dom, come on. And he's
All right. Following after.
You guys are just grabbing the body of this military agent and dragging it inside of Rodol's house. And Rodol gives you this look, Dominic, like, this is not good. That's where we're on tonight's session.
Oh man. I don't think I'll have a family for long. But what is a Dominic without a family? Nothing, I say.
You get a different family. Weirdos.
Maybe
Yes,
family's the
I
family.
will happily be your family.
I make a family out of people. Family's family, and if you drive your family, you gotta get cars, Dominic. What you need is cars now.
Oh my god.
Only cars. Family. And cars.
I have expertise in land vehicles, so if that's the way the story
And
goes,
surveillance.
all right,
And beer.
we're gonna have to drive this new car off a plane into a
Yeah.
building in order to
Yeah.
solve this mystery.
And
Slow-mo.
don't skip leg day. Also, the gym's important and hard work.
Oh man.
Well,
Well then.
interesting stuff. Well, that brings Thursday to an end. That was a fun situation of not today is Tuesday in real life, but Thursday in the game. Thanks all so much for watching. That was super fun. We have another fun game on Friday called Blood from a Stone. It's a horror game. We've got nothing the next couple. Actually, no, we may do this coming Sunday and Monday in our usual time slots. We may have some like other kind of chat preview stuff, but the weeks after that, we're going to be starting some Star Wars games because I'm a Star Wars. So that'll be crazy stuff. But otherwise, we will see you guys next week here for more noir fun on Grey in the Dark. Until then, good night and good noir. See, see, noir voice. See, wow.